Hey folks, my name is Jeff. You all know me as a jazz musician, pianist, guitarist and things, but you also know that Vanessa and I do a lot of traveling. And as we travel, lots of people ask us about our LittleGuy teardrop trailer that you see behind me here. Anyway, I think I really ought to give you the skinny on it so that you'll have a chance, should you decide to opt for what we've opted for in terms of a travel camping vehicle, you'll make some good choices. First off, most people ask us, first question, how do you like it? We love it. Now, the other thing you should notice about that question is people walk up to us all the time and they want to find out about the teardrop trailers. So I'm going to give you a few items of interest so that should you decide to go for this more than expensive option in the future than a standard trailer, you'll have some really sensible notions about what to expect. All right, first thing about teardrop trailers. These babies are not designed to just go to the lake and hang out for 2 weeks. This thing's got wheels, it's small, you can pull it with any car that'll handle 1,500 pounds or more. This is a 1984 Camry, we love it, Cammy, because she's made of stainless steel. So anything that's got a 4 or 5 speed transmission will pull 2,000 pounds, has the brakes for it, and it has the chassis for it, will pull a LittleGuy trailer such as this, or a teardrop trailer. But that's exactly what it's for. Pulling and traveling. Like I said, you don't go to the lake for 2 weeks and hang out in your teardrop trailer. This guy is designed to be on the road. It's for touring. Excellent. Vanessa likes to say, hey, it's our hotel room on wheels. And to some degree that's true. Got a nice queen size bed, and then we have a kitchen unit in the back so we can prepare our meals. I'm not going to show you a lot of the details of this. This is just meant to give you a swag about the unit. Look, you're on the road constantly with one of these. Sure, yeah, you could go to the lake and you could set up a tent with it and you could hang out. First thing you're going to notice is you're going to run out of power in no time whatsoever. It's got a deep cycle battery, but it's also got a DC refrigerator in the back. So, DC refrigerator means you get one overnight and you've got to drive another 100 miles to charge everything up. So the first thing about the refrigerator and the power consumption is be sure to put a 7-pound bag of ice in the refrigerator to extend your stays. Plus, get yourself a solar panel. So we purchased a solar panel and the unit comes with a jack point for a Z-amp style solar panel. Do get it. The one we got is pretty small. We only get about 200 watts of power. You can't sit around playing with your laptop inside one of these. Yeah, you can watch an hour or two of DVD inside, but you're not going to be sit there draining this DC power supply. Okay, it also comes with 5 gallons of propane, but the propane is strictly used, not for the refrigerator, strictly used for cooking. So it has a 2-burner stove in the back. And frankly, we've now been on the road for over 10 months, over the course of 2 years, and we really haven't had to fill it at all, so it'll last a long time. All right, other things to be concerned about. You see these vents? There's a vent on each side. Well, unfortunately, these vents do not vent the kitchen area. So, hey, one of these DC refrigerators is a heat pump. So basically all it does is pump the heat out of the refrigerator into the compartment. And at a certain point, hey, it doesn't work anymore. It just sits there sucking up power. So once again, if you get one of these units, specify that you want these venting points to be somehow connected to the kitchen area. Now, that means that whatever your vent connector is through the bulkhead between here has to be screened to prevent mosquitoes coming in. Now let me tell you something else. It'll come with windows like this and the 2 hatches. Well, unfortunately, you see this screen inside here? It doesn't really go all the way to the gaps. So if you get a few mosquitoes, fine, it'll keep them out. But you get a number of mosquitoes and what you'll see is a bunch of mosquitoes bouncing off each other and they'll eventually find the ends. Once they find the ends, they're in. The other thing about the screen is, a lot of places you go camping have these little tiny gnats. They're called no-see-em. They fly right through this screen. So be sure that you get a no-see-em screen as well. Now you can augment this by putting up your own internal screen, but then you have no access to the window controls. So if you have internal access to the window controls, you can go and stick up your own no-see-em screen, and then you can crank the windows open and close from inside. But that isn't going to happen if all you can do is get access to the window by sticking your hand through the open screen. Alright, some other things. See these little units down here? They're not leveling units. All they are is stabilizing units. So you're not going to be able to level this thing out. And another problem you're going to have is if you do use them, you see how mine are slightly bent? Sometimes you'll drive off with them on the ground and then they'll bend out. Fortunately, they still work after you do that. So take precautions. There's a bar that's used to crank them. Stick the bar on the front seat to remind you anytime you have dropped either one or both of the stabilizing units. Alright, this antenna doesn't work at all. Your car reception will be a lot better than you will from the reception from this antenna. So specify something a little more robust so you can actually pick up some radio when you're inside. Now the unit also comes with capacity to go and be a park model. So you can get AC, you can plug in some water pressure, and you can hook up a cable. But listen folks, you're not buying this because you're going to go to a campsite somewhere and hang out with a bunch of other people buzzing around with their 50-foot Phaetons. You're buying this so you can be on the road. So just be aware of that. You're going to have to bring along some extra water, and this is an internal 5-gallon tank. So be sure to use that. Anything else? Does have porch lights. Don't forget to turn them off if you turn them on, otherwise you'll drain your battery. So if I have to say the biggest issue you have with one of these is you're going to have a lot of power consumption. Keep that in mind. It's an overnight traveling unit. It's not a campsite unit where you're going to hang out for a week. You can get a tent that will attach to one of these units. And that's a very good idea if you have kids, because you really can only sleep maybe 3 people, maybe 4 if you have 2 very young children inside. So you're going to want to be able to park the kids overnight outside in a tent. Alright, so as you can see, these units are very compact, but they're also expensive per square foot. You can expect to spend $14,000 for a deluxe model. Finally, I'll show you something that should not have occurred. You'll notice that we have a cardboard license plate on the back of this. And that's because we had to manually make one after the license plate that descends here dropped down and kept getting warped by either the wind or by hitting rocks until it tore it right off. So make sure that they mount the license plate right on the back of the teardrop trailer in the clamshell. Anyway, overall this is a remarkable unit, very well made with a few exceptions where we found staples in places they should not have been in the kitchen area. But we heartily recommend the Go LittleGuy company, the Tag, which is the deluxe unit, for anyone who has the extra cash, wishes to travel extensively. Finally, when Vanessa and I originally sold our house in Olympia, Washington, we planned on being homeless on purpose. At that time, we bought a tent trailer. The tent trailers are extremely large, bulky, and hard to set up. We hardly ever use the unit. However, if we had gotten one of these LittleGuy trailers, we would have been able to successfully live year-round as a micro-domicile on the road and traveling, which was our original intent. Anyway, let's hope this is useful to anyone out there. Thanks a lot. Jeff signing off. Bye.